Greetings, brothers and sisters. It's your brother, Ate Chris. You see, as I was meditating on the story of Moses and his twin brother, Pharaoh, this morning, I noticed something that I would love to share with you. Here is Moses, acting like a god to Pharaoh and a deliverer to the children of Israel. On the other hand, you have Pharaoh acting like he's the god of Egypt, not letting the children of Israel go because his heart is hardened, because he's thinking to himself that Egypt is a great nation and should remain a great nation and should always be built. But who are those who are going to build it? Slaves. And who are the slaves? The Israelites. So, going back to their background, I noticed that these guys were not just acting like this by chance. It did not just happen. Now, let us look at Moses, for example. Though he's proclaimed in public to be the son of Pharaoh's sister, but he was nurtured, he was groomed by his own mother. And he grew up knowing that he is a deliverer to the children of Israel. He grew up knowing that he's a special guy and that he is the one that has to take the children of Israel out of this current slavery. And as such, he was trained in all the wisdom of Egypt. On the other hand, you have Ramses. He is grown up to by his mother. And the nurturing, or he grows up knowing that one day he must be king of Egypt. And being king of Egypt, he must act or do whatever thing that is necessary to protect the interest of Egypt. And now, the two of them have come of age. You think they are going to act differently? No. They are nurturing. The training which they received growing up has a very big role to play. So you see, as they are growing up and building their experience, at a certain point, at an appointed point, the Lord must pick up this gift, anoint it, and use it for some great purpose. So whatever experience that we gather as we are growing up, at some point the Spirit of the Lord picks that up, anoints it, and amplifies it. So do not, for any reason, neglect or look down on the experience which you are having at the moment. Do not neglect those midnight candles that you're burning. Do not neglect the hardship, the experience that you're going through, because at some point it will count. So that made me to go back and start looking at most of our heroes, most of these guys who made a mark in the past. I looked at Cain, a bitter in heart complainer, and now consequently he murdered his brother. Looking at David, a young boy shepherd back there in the wilderness, a beast slayer, and now his experience brings him before Goliath. He thinks he will act differently, and consequently being a shepherd, now he's the king shepherd over all of Israel. You think that just happens? Now looking at Judas Iscariot, a covetous thief, and then subsequently he betrays his master for 30 pieces of silver. You think it just happens? Looking at Saul, who later on becomes Paul, a seeker of truth, the finest and an expert in the law, and then subsequently he becomes the greatest of all the apostles. You think it just happens? You see, time will not permit us to mention the Samuels, the Josephs, you see, the Timothys, faith coming down from his grandmother to the mother, and now Timothy is a great messenger of the gospel. See, time will not even permit us to mention the great cloud of witnesses that are surrounding us even in this day, of whom their training has brought them up to whatever that they are today. No doubt the wise saying, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows up, he will not depart from that path. This makes me to kind of weep for our children who are left to themselves in the street and so on, to face and figure out life for themselves. I came this day just to encourage you, whatever dream you have in mind to make your life great, whatever the circumstances that are surrounding you, keep dreaming, keep protecting your sacrifice, keep burning the midnight candles. At some point, the Spirit of the Lord will pick that up and bring you before great men and nobles. I promise you. The Lord bless you, and I'll see you in our next video. Stay blessed.